I'm in London with Dr. Anthony Mann, Director of Research at Education and Employers. Anthony, Inspiring the Future, it was launched 4 years ago. What did you set out to achieve as a charity when you launched Inspiring the Future?
Well, Inspiring the Future is a delivery program. It's a mechanism for connecting schools and colleges with people in the world of work. And when you look at programs like this, it's really important to try and judge them on 4 criteria. Are they effective? Are they efficient? Are they equitable? And are they evidenced? And all of these were things which we had in our minds when we launched Inspiring the Future. And we did it because in England we were transitioning from a system of excellent local authority provision, which was funded by central government, to a situation where funding had changed very rapidly, where it's becoming much more of a patchwork, a postcode lottery to see if there was any provision available to schools and colleges. But it kind of seemed to us that there had to be a way of taking advantage of technology to really make a difference. And if you think about these 4 things, if you think about kind of efficiency, if you think about kind of the unit cost, what are the transaction costs which come in an episode of employer engagement in education? And you think of some areas like work experience. Historically, in terms of work experience, you've got your health and safety checks. You might have some management of kind of the program. Think of mentoring. You might have safeguarding checks. You might have training. You might have finding a location for mentoring to take place. But in most activities, actually in all activities, there's a simple cost which is universal to all of them, and is the thing which is most elastic and everything, which is actually finding people willing to say yes, finding the right people willing to say yes. And Inspiring the Future changed the way that we think about employer engagement, in that it pre-found the people. It kind of goes out into the community and say, are you interested in giving up an hour a year to work with a local school or college to support young people? It's a very simple ask. And if you pre-find those volunteers, your efficiencies grow very rapidly, because then you're saying to the school, here are people, you choose who you want. It's up to you to decide who you think is most effective in supporting your young people. And that's where the second part of it comes through. That's the effectiveness. And the effectiveness is, you can understand it from different perspectives, but at its heart, it's making sure the right volunteer is in front of the right young person, doing the right activity at the right time. And who is best placed to be able to make that decision? Well, it's the practitioner. And Inspiring the Future is very important to us, is that those practitioners, those teachers and career professionals had the most opportunity to choose for themselves what they did when on their own terms. Now, the third area is equity, is fairness. And if you have a volunteering program with what's called very low entry costs, it's very easy to get involved in it. It's very easy for schools to get involved in it, which is one of the reasons why it's so important that it's free. Then very rapidly you can create a national network. And if you have a national network, and we now have thousands upon thousands of schools enrolled, we have tens of thousands of volunteers across the country. If you have that national coverage, what you can do is target geographic areas which where needs are greatest. You can run national campaigns very cheaply. You can run campaigns around gender, inspiring women. You can run campaigns around particular economic areas or skills areas, apprenticeships or healthcare. You can do that. You can do it very cheaply, and you can have a very significant impact, because you can find schools in every area who want to be involved. Or you can use the technology only to target things to those schools which have got the highest level of free school meals or in the areas of greatest deprivation. And finally, evidence is really important to us, that we reflected the evidence which we found. And at the same time as we were setting up Inspiring the Future, we realised that volume was so important. That we need to really maximise the number of interactions which young people had with employers. And so, we set up, the programme on the basis of, can you spare an hour a year? Can you spare an hour a year to go into a local school and college?
It's a simple idea.
It's a simple ask,
yeah.
But that's based upon, again, saying to the schools, here's a resource. It's simple, it's quick, it's free, make use of it.
And have volunteers been forthcoming? Have many signed up on the website?
We are currently into more than 35,000 volunteers. Volunteers typically say that they will volunteer in 2 different local authority areas. You might volunteer where you work and where you live, and so you appear available to schools in 2 different areas. Since we started, well over 1 million interactions have taken place between employee volunteers and young people, and I don't think that's enough.
I'm intrigued by what you're saying because I always associate it with the technology is a sort of matchmaking facility. I want to do some volunteering, I'm willing to offer an hour. But you're bringing in a new dimension now around it enables you to do things regionally and in local areas. Is that something in 2017 that you're now able to do, and you're doing lots of activities in different parts of the country?
Well, absolutely. If you think about this, you have a national network, and you have a network of all types of schools, from primary through to further education colleges, across every subject, across every occupational area. You can run all sorts of interesting campaigns, as we do, around all these different things, around apprenticeships, around gender, around school at stage, around primary, around economic areas of interest, subjects of study. You can run all sorts of interesting things. It's a very practical tool.
Sounds great.
And it only works. It only works because it harnesses the willingness of individuals, people in the community, to say, yeah, I'll stand up.
Okay.
I'm willing to be approached, and the interest and the willingness of teachers to say, I want what you've got, and my young people will value what you've got to give.
So Anthony, how do schools get involved, and indeed employers and their employees who might want to use this facility?
It's very simple. Any member of staff in any state school across the UK can sign up. They can register because they've got their own needs, whether you're the head of year 10 or you're a subject teacher or you're a careers professional. As many different people from state schools as possible can sign up, and if you're an employer, you can sign up and promote as a programme to your own staff, or people can sign up independently. It takes 2 or 3 minutes, and it's very quick and simple and free to do so.
So simply go to your website and all the information's there. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.